Well, to a certain extent, I'm hopeful that the United Democratic Party could get it together and the party could emerge unified under one leader. And I'm also disheartened because within the democratic space, you need an opposition. And we've traditionally always been a two-party system. And I think for the health of our democracy, for a government that is accountable and built on good democratic values, you need two parties. And you need two vibrant, well-organized, robust parties that offer people a division. And it was obvious in the last election that we didn't really have that choice. And when you don't have that choice, you don't really have a spirited public debate about options and where we want to move the country forward. You need a formal opposition in the centers of government, so in the National Assembly, in the House meetings and the Senate, that can get access to information, that is there when legislation is being passed, and that can put that perspective to represent a different voice. And without that, our democracy is really crippled. I remember in our history, we've had fragmented political parties. The United Democratic Party is a merger of three political parties, which were really very small and splintered. And it was with that force that they first formed the government in 1984. So I think within our democracy, you really need that. And there's a lot of people who support the United Democratic Party, traditionally and even now. And you want to give those people who are not supporters of the government an organized voice that they could channel dissent. So you were talking earlier on about the protests and issues with the unions and so forth, but those are civil society agencies. You want something that feeds into the formal political structure and that can give people an option in relation to electoral seats, and that can potentially form a government leading the country in a different direction. And I think in leadership, we have to realize that it's bigger than us. This is not about who leads the United Democratic Party. This is about the hundreds of thousands of Belizeans who want a better life, and government whose primary obligation is to provide an enabling environment to allow people to experience a quality living that promotes human dignity and social transformation. So the thing that I look at, and I'm very worrisome in the United Democratic Party, is that all of this is noise. No one cares about that. Get it together and lead a vision for the country that offers people a viable option to move the country forward, so that in terms of the constitution, the political decision making, what mechanism, people don't really, they're not interested in that. They're not interested really in who is the leader of the opposition. They want somebody who can bring the party together, somebody who can offer a viable alternative, and somebody who can bring ideas to fray that will transform the country.